I was once standing on the Thames embankment, watching a recruiting march, when a sergeant stopped in front of me and told me I looked like their lad. With a smile I said, "Do you know how old I am?" "I was 15. He replied that didn't matter, but he walked off. It was really rather foolish of him. I certainly didn't look old enough, and if I had joined up, my parents would soon have whisked me out. I had intended to read medicine, but as the war dragged on with no end in view, I came to the conclusion that my time would come, and if I were to join the army, I might as well do so as a professional, especially as for family reasons I wished to serve in the Royal Artillery. So I took the armed entrance exam and entered the Royal Military Academy at Woolwich. Better known, the men who went there as the shop, in February 1917. In my time, there were 3 classes of so-called gentlemen cadets: the seniors, the second class, and the newcomers, known as snoopers. I thought, and still think, the privileges of the largest seniors, to whom snoopers were a lower form of human life, were childish. A snooker who displeased the seniors was sometimes subjected to sheer brutality. I was told of 2 cases which became public scandals. One snooker was bitten in self-defense to use his pen. Another, having been chased around the grounds and then thrown into the reservoir, was drowned. Compared with our experience from 1940 to 1944, the air raids during the First War were insignificant, but there were casualties, and I regret to have to confess that air raids thrilled me, so much so that I acquired my strong preference for a full moon, which is still with me, because when there was little or no moonlight, the Zeppelins didn't come. My attitude, I have no doubt, was due to the fact that from our house on a hill southeast of London, I had a good view of searchlights picking up the airship. When the first one was destroyed, I was staying with my father, who was staff commander at the Crystal Palace, the training centre for the Royal Naval Division. I saw it go in the sky, but the airship, not a Zeppelin, a chute launch, was hidden from my view by the Crystal Palace. Later, however, I saw from my bedroom window at home a Zeppelin set on fire, breaking in two and falling to the ground. In my jubilation, I did have the decency to think of the terrible death suffered by the crew. I was commissioned in January 1918 and elected to be posted to the heavies. The Royal Garrison Artillery. The horses appealed to me, and so did the gun. The 60-pounder, a formidable weapon, with a muzzle velocity of 2,002 feet per second, and a range of about 15,000 yards. I couldn't go on active service until I reached the age of 19, on the 6th of June, 1919. So I was sent to a 60-pounder gunnery school at Winchester. I was then given the job of examiner in gun laying. The work, testing men for efficiency in laying a gun accurately on target, was monotonous, but it involved cantering over the Winchester Downs, visiting batteries scattered around, and that was extremely enjoyable. One day, the conscientious objector, wearing the uniform of the non-combatant corps, came walking through the gunnery school. He was stopped by some young officers and told to clear out. He did so with a polite smile. I didn't take part and I didn't approve. He had no doubt satisfied the tribune that his objection was sincere, and he was willing to undertake non-combatant duties. I knew a man like that. He became a stretcher bearer. He was killed in action. Shortly before my birthday, my name appeared in the list of officers drafted to France. and I was given my overseas leave, 10 or 14 days, I think. But something went wrong with the arrangements. Later I was put on another draft, so I had a second overseas leave. But influenza prevented my joining the draft. Then I was included in the third draft, leaving for France early in August. To the amusement of the colonel commanding the gunnery school, I asked for a third ration of overseas leave. It was granted, of course, with a friendly smile.